Yeah, bloody children.
Yeah.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode zero point 0.8 of Science or Satire with our main man and one of my favorite content creators ever. He is absolutely the funniest person on the internet. Radical's a close second. I'll give Radical that, but absolutely, Conspiracy Catz is the funniest content creator in our community. Welcome to the show, Conspiracy Catz. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, great, man. How are you? Good to see you.
Oh, I'm doing great, man. This is like, my dream come true here, Cats. I'm crying over here, man.
I
What's
know.
going on?
Look at us. We had Simon Dan on, and now we got Conspiracy Catz. Like, it's the actual royalties coming to us. It feels so good.
Well,
I wasn't gonna
no, go ahead.
come on after you so badly at FIFA. Like after you publicly humiliated me in front of thousands of people, I wasn't gonna do it, but
Well, it does seem that Dan got revenge for you and whooped Team Skeptic at FIFA.
Yes.
yeah, what was the score? I don't know what the score was. Like, was it quite a heavy beating?
That's something I'd prefer not to talk about on my own channel. If y'all want to talk trash about me, go start your own anti-Team Skeptic channel. No, okay. So this is me being honest because I try to be as honest as possible. The first game I beat him 3-1. I was already thinking to myself, dang, he probably should be playing Cats because Cats is more his skill level, you know. So we went on to the second game, and he beat me. He scored the first goal. I scored 2 goals at the end of the first half. He scored 2 goals in the second half, and he beat me. So he was up 1, but I was up on goals, and he had his first win. Then I was like, okay, maybe Simon Dan has a little bit of game on him, you know? Then he beat me again by 1 goal. Then he beat me again by 2 goals. Then he beat me again by 4 goals. Then he sends me a message telling me that he'll take it easy on me next time. Thanks, Simon Dan. I appreciate it.
Mic drop. Love it.
Mic drop. Gravity proven.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, my God.
So you're not going to be starting your own FIFA channel then, team?
No, I was until I was going to start greatestfifaplayerofalltime.com as my channel name, and definitely not doing that now. Not until I learn how to beat Simon Dan.
Yeah, I thought it's quite good that Simon Dan started his own FIFA channel. So Elf's totally away from Flat Earth.
Yeah, I have my gaming channel. I don't put out enough content on it because I just don't have time right now with everything that's going on. I want to be sure to film my channel with good content primarily. And now that we have the Science or Satire channel, it's kind of like we now have double the responsibility because I want to put out good content on that as well. And I just can't can't guarantee that my gaming channel is going to have consistently good content with everything else that's going on that just has so much more potential, that the Science or Satire and this channel right here.
I don't think NASA have the budget to fund anymore, do they?
No. They can't pay for my channel.
So, Conspiracy Catz, you are going up against Nathan Thompson quite soon in a debate. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest, because I've seen him a lot, and I'm hoping I can bring out the rational side of him, because he gets quite heated, doesn't he? And he gets quite stroppy, and I'm hoping I can with that. I'm hoping I can get him into something a bit more mature. We'll see. I'll be nice to him. See what he says.
He doesn't like me very much at the moment, or Team Skeptic actually. We're not his favorite people in the world. You should see some of the emails we've been receiving from both him and JM Truth.
Yeah. Well, you did fool him quite badly. You did beat him quite. You saw how it was done.
I'll be honest with you. We didn't really beat him. He beat himself when he said 10 to the negative 17 was a negative number. I mean, when the first claim you make is that you're a biochemist and a physicist, and the second claim you make, well, the next 2 claims you make are that 10 to the negative 17th is a negative number, and mass and weight are the exact same, mass and weight are the exact same thing. When you make those 2 comments, you kind of nullify everything else you said before about being a biochemist and a physicist.
Yeah, and then he followed that up with, Newton's law of gravitational attraction stole from Coulomb's law, which actually came 100 years after. But hey,
he's dead. Hold on. We're forgetting one. Centrifugal force is a term that they made up in the last 50 years. It didn't
No,
appear in any.
15 to 20 years, he said.
Oh,
So
15 to 20. I'm sorry.
yeah, so I mean, I'm 35, going on 36, and I remember studying this stuff at high school, and that's more than 15 years ago.
It's,
You
I want to give up on that, right? I want to let all that go, but it's just too easy to poke fun at him. I mean, he has been, like I said in your video, he's become my official 2019 nominee for Dumbfuck of the Year for Red's Rhetoric.
I don't
That's
know. He's going to have to work hard to beat off Sleeping Warrior. What do you reckon, Katz?
I don't want to see him beating off Sleeping Warrior, mate. That's a whole different kind of video.
Hey, I was trying to keep my dirty mind to myself, but Katz, you ruined it for me because I saw as soon as he said the same thing, I wanted to go phrasing.
Okay, so who is your current nomination for Dumbfuck of the Year, Katz?
You know, it's a difficult one. I think I'm feeling sorry from both at the minute. You know, I think Anthony Riley's going off the deep end. I've spoken a lot in the early days with Anthony, but some of the things he's saying now, I think he's either saying it because he's enjoying trolling, or he is going off the deep end a little bit. So I don't know. I think Nathan, I can accept more because he bases a lot of his in religion, and he tries to find scientific arguments to back up his religious belief, and that's fine. You know, how can you argue? Like we were saying off, how can you argue with like a religious belief? You can't. You know, he's got what he's got, and he's desperately searching for scientific ideas to back himself up. Whereas, you know, I don't think Anthony's that religious, and I mean, I don't know what he's searching for at the minute. I really don't.
No, Riley confuses me because he almost seems like a normal person. Almost, you know, but then you talk to him about the things that that he understands, and the pure craziness of him thinking that he has this knowledge when he's never studied any of it at all. Yet he thinks that he knows better than everyone, and you're a teacher, and yet he will argue with you until he's blue in the face about gas pressure and everything. I mean, like this whole thing, he says he's pinned you with the gas pressure about a container forever. Like,
I don't know. He's crazy, but he changes his mind. He changes back and forth so often. I mean, I remember speaking to him a few months ago about refraction and how refraction can cause a mirage, etc. And he was saying to me, well, light might refract in glass because we can see it, and it might refract in a sucrose solution because we can see it, but there's no evidence that light refracts in the air. And he was going on and on saying light does not refract in the air. And then literally 2 days later, some PhD guy was saying that light always refracts upwards in the air, and that debunks the globe Earth. And he was spouting that. He was saying, "Oh yeah, light refracts in the air, but it always refracts upwards." You know, he's changed his mind like that.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I was just the thing about Riley that confuses me though is what is in it for him, because he doesn't monetize his channel,
no,
at all. Like. So what is he just after the attention? Does he really think that he's right and it just won't let it go? Or I don't understand what his motivation for it all is.
Well, I would like to speak on that because I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to explore new scientific concepts in your head. I don't even think there's something wrong with trying to say, trying to come up with how that would comport with reality, how that would explain what's going on. You know, if there's some kind of science that we're unaware of where the earth is really flat, but we all just see everything around us as if it's a globe, and then they find this science out and it turns out that that's right, then that's a new science that we're going to be exploring. It's going to take somebody to think about something like this, that's to think outside the box to make this a possibility, right? But the thing is that you cannot deny reality in your efforts to come up with new science. So if you want to come up with a new scientific concept, it better match reality, or else it's going to be immediately discredited and discounted. So having the mind to think critically and to think, to conceptualize new concepts in your head, that's okay. But just don't go so far out as to think that your purpose on Earth is to figure out something that science has not figured out yet, because you may not be qualified and you may not have the even the mental wherewithal to conceptualize new concepts if you don't, if they're not matching reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so Katz, when you first started your channel, it wasn't really going to be about flat Earth, was it?
Not at all. No, it wasn't. You mean the Conspiracy Catz one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I only started it for, like, I thought I'd only make 1 or 2 videos because at the time I had an educational channel that I was making videos for the school kids I taught. And I wanted somewhere to dump videos that weren't appropriate for the kids. So I made a video about, in fact, Anthony Riley asked me to make my first video, which was about water not being made of hydrogen and oxygen. And I was only going to make 1 or 2, and then I was going to knock it on the head. But it became a bit of a hobby, really, I think. So I kind of stuck with it.
Wait, so Anthony Riley, was he like, does he think that water isn't hydrogen and oxygen, or was he on board with you about that?
No, he thought that the people claiming that water was its own element were doing flat Earth a disservice by making flat Earth look stupid.
Right.
So he asked me to debunk that.
Yeah.
Pete and Peter, yeah.
Oh, God, those idiots.
Yeah, you've been on with them, haven't you? You've done a hangout with them.
Yes, I did a hangout with those 2 guys. They're stupid. They're the absolute two. I don't know what to think of them two. They should have named their channel Dunning and Kruger.
Top left for the win.
I think they only live about an hour from me. I'm surrounded from where I am. I think Antonio Subratz is in Manchester, which I can get to in 40 minutes. I can get to Peter and Pete in less than an hour. Anthony Riley's only about 45 minutes away. That David Yates bloke who's always on about chemtrails, he's only about 40 minutes away from me. I think I'm literally surrounded.
Fair enough.
Poor guy.
Oh, someone's saying in the chat that basically Riley invented Conspiracy Catz.
And look at what we have. I mean, thank you, Anthony Riley, for your one great contribution to this world. Conspiracy Catz has helped us out so much, keeping us entertained and such great enjoyable content for months so far, and hopefully decades to come, because I can't get enough of Dell. I can't get enough of Shed Rage High. I can't get enough of the way you bring people in to make themselves look stupid. You don't even do it like me. I go and I say, look, this is the reason you're stupid, and this and this and this and this and that. And then you go and you say, oh yeah, look, let me let you talk. Oh, look, everybody knows you're stupid for that reason because you opened your mouth.
No. Oh God, Dell must absolutely hate you.
I don't think I'm his favorite person. No, but I was on his stream the other day, and he did do a video about me as well, a stream a couple of weeks ago, and he was surprisingly sort of polite. I was in the chat, and he was pretty easy. He was more like the Dell you see when he's out, meeting people, and because that Dell is quite a nice guy. He's out asking people to bend water in a bottle. That's a bit daft, but he's polite with people, isn't he? When he does that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nonsense, but
he did a video about me. It was titled "Analyzing Globe Proponents," and it was just an hour and a half of watching me and then talking about indoctrination. Like he's got one script, and that's all you can use. Like indoctrination, water on a ball, calling you a child, and that's it. I don't watch him anymore because he bores me, because he never says anything new.
Well, it is the same thing over and over again, isn't it? It's the tangible substance of water. I know how it behaves, therefore, proves, and it's nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah. I can watch that video of him pouring water on a ball and in the little trough and lifting it up and going, oh look, gravity doesn't like this end. I can watch that all day.
Yeah. I think that was the first video I ever made on Flat Earth, that was.
Yeah, probably. I think that was my introduction to Dell, watching it on your channel, because when I first started watching all the Flat Earth stuff, you were just kind of getting going. And I subscribed to you quite early on. And I remember messaging you on Twitter with my old account, Married to Xbox, saying, oh, I was thinking of getting into this. And then like you were the first person that I messaged with my new account, and like you've been there for my whole time since I started on YouTube, and like I feel like I wouldn't have had the success I've had if it wasn't for knowing you.
Oh mate, I don't think that at all. I think you'd have grown no matter what, you know. But I think I heard Simon Dan on your on the Science and Satire when you had him on, and he said the same thing. I'm going to say that the community like is it's just a good community. Everybody gets along, don't they? And they support each other, and it's just nice for everybody to see that. I've benefited from shout outs from loads of people. Dan obviously himself, he got me going. Who are Mrs. like not in that way, but but yeah, it's a good community. I think everybody helps each other, don't they?
Well,
yeah,
I said it in the last time. It's like in the flat Earth community, you have competing ideas. Everybody wants their idea to be right. So what they're going to do is they're going to argue with who's more wrong, basically, and they're never going to feel any like companionship or bond like we get when we do videos. Like if I say something wrong and you point it out to me, it's because we're both trying to explain the same phenomenon. We're both trying to explain the same model, and maybe I just don't have the correct understanding of that model. And you'll come through and say, "Hey, this is the good way of explaining this model or explaining this concept, or explaining something that I had gotten wrong once or twice about like centrifugal forces and geostationary satellites." And it's like once we all look out for each other like that in the flat Earth, if they have somebody try to correct the other guy, then that guy looks at it like, hey, you're trying to impose your flat Earth ideas on me, and I don't believe that. I believe this about the flat Earth. So there's no congruency with that.
It's all about the factions with them. That Dell's got his faction, Nathan Oakley has his faction. There's all these like groups that have their own particular way of doing things. Whereas within our community, I really don't mind. I don't know everything. And if I get something wrong, I'd like to be told that I'm wrong. Sean Hufford has done it a fair few times. And that's good, because then I'll learn and get better, and my debates to be better. But we
look at that as constructive criticism. They just look at it as criticism. They don't know how to see that as as each other trying to help each other out. Let me address a couple of super chats. Zubatat Ebrius, please send this to Catz to put towards a better microphone. P.S. Flat Earthers are frickin' idiots. Let me get my dinger out. There we go.
What have I told you about getting your dinger out in the middle of the day?
Oh man, well I thought you told me don't get it out in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. My bad. And then $1 from Jennifer's Veterans for Truth. I had her on not too long ago. Thank you for the $1 donation. Also, I plan on in the near future. I plan on doing a ladies creators hangout. So. Jennifer, you and Leah or Leah, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope I said it right. You and Leah and a few of the other female creators that I'm aware of will be invited, like Surf Persil will be invited, and you guys can come on and we can have just a good conversation with a smaller group of this community. I just don't think there's enough ladies out there making content. I think it's definitely a male dominated aspect of our community, So I'd like to bring you on and kind of let people know who y'all are, because I do watch y'all's videos and try to I do watch the videos and try to get try to be aware of what y'all are doing. So all right, so $2 from David Shipley. How much do I have to pay to use Ding in real life? David, use Ding all the time. There's no way to make the Ding a successful meme unless everybody uses it. So everybody use that Ding on anybody that says something stupid, please.
That sounded so wrong. Use the Ding on anyone that says something stupid.
Yeah, mushroom stamp them with your dinger.
Right. So,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm just gonna let me address a couple others. Bill McCall for $1. Thank you, sir, very much. And that's it right there.
So I feel like we should prepare Catz for his debate then.
Yeah, Okay, so this is this portion of the show is going to be a comment. It's going to be a live chat special. Okay, you guys are going to participate in this portion of the show to help to help. I almost called you Simon, Dan. To help Conspiracy Catz prepare for his debate with Nathan Thompson, we will be taking flat Earth proofs from the audience today. So everybody get your proofs together and submit them, the arguments that Nathan Thompson is going to impose on Conspiracy Catz, and we will present them to Conspiracy Catz, and we'll let him answer them right here, right now, with no research or evidence to back it.
I think I'll get things kicked off, and I guess I'll ask you, Catz, how are you going to respond when he starts screaming rectification fallacy?
Oh my word! The fallacy argument really gets right on my nerves. You know what? I don't know. I've absolutely no idea. What would you say?
I just go back with saying that he's using the fallacy,
well,
which I got on with quite hard.
I looked it up. A reification fallacy is like when you try to say that something that's unrealistic, when you apply something that's unrealistic to reality. So he'll say you're using a reification fallacy when you say gravity causes things come to the earth, because in his mind, gravity's not real. So that's how he applies the reification fallacy. It doesn't make it right, but that's how he's going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So let me get in here and see. Let me see what we have. Okay. This is for Catz to buy an oven mitt and a fifth of Jack. He'll need both. Okay. Jimmy Callanan says Nathan is going to ask you prove gravity, and how do you intend on doing that?
Well, I mean, we can talk, if he wants proof, we can talk about LIGO and we can talk about the gravitational waves being detected. But one thing I'm probably go down the, and I'm showing my hand here, but we could talk about a pendulum swing and calculating the period of a pendulum swing, which, if you know the equation for that, includes acceleration due to gravity. And that doesn't include mass, it doesn't include density. You can nail on exactly what the period of a pendulum swing will be, just using the length of the string and little g. And then we look at where little g comes from, and little g is obviously proportional to the mass of the Earth divided by the radius of the Earth squared, you know, which is where we get the constant big G from. And that link is solid. That link is absolutely solid. So it is absolute proof that that constant big G, well, I mean, the constants just help even out equations anyway, don't they? But I'm going to go with the pendulum argument and see what he says with that to start with. But I'm also going to destroy the idea that it can be density.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with the relative density argument, because he is going to bring that up.
So, I mean, like but these things have been said over and over and over again. But, you know, I've said in my videos and you've said in yours that if you've got an object, it's surrounded by the Earth, in the immediate vicinity of that object, the density of the Earth around it is all the same. So why does it fall down? Why does it not go to the side? Why does it not go upwards? And if you go really high upwards, we know there's a density gradient in the atmosphere. That's where the least dense air is. But why does it go down instead of upwards? Why, when things fall from, and I know Anthony Riley was taking things to the extreme with the Felix Baumgartner stuff, but why, when he throws something off the top of a tower, does it accelerate as the medium's getting denser? If acceleration is due to density gradients, it makes no sense. It should be decelerating as it gets into that denser medium. You know, and obviously you've got things falling at the same speed in a vacuum. And again, in a vacuum, why do they fall downwards? Why don't they fall left or right or upwards?
Yeah,
right.
No, and that's absolutely true. And I think it was Fight the Flat Earth that made this argument in one of his debates. He said something along the lines like, if you remove the containers if you have a glass of water, right? And let's say you have a glass upside down to where it's containing the water on the inside and it's forming like a straight up and down column. And you lift that, right? And you lift that glass. Why does the water fall off to the sides? It has no reason to fall to the sides. It should just stay in a column upright, because that's the way, you know, without gravity pulling it down, without giving it a reason to go to the other side, there should be no reason. It should just stay as a column of water.
Exactly.
Or when it gets down to the ground, and once it's sitting on the ground and the ground is the denser medium underneath, then why does it not go up? You know, why does it not change its vector? Because it's now, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the ideas behind the whole relative density. There's so many problems. Like the one me and you were talking about with the scales. You know, if you had a scale and you had one object of the same weight but less dense on one side of the scale, and you have another object with the same weight but it's more dense, why does the more dense one not pull it down? Shouldn't it? If it's all about relative density, should it not pull down on the scale?
There's so much that they get wrong about it. Okay, so we've got a quote from Amory sorry I get this wrong, Kitad Dokoro. Says, Nathan will ask you how we can have atmospheric pressure next to a vacuum without a container.
Well, when he does that, he's going to have to be prepared to explain to me what he understands by gas pressure. And eventually we're going to get to the point where we talk about particles moving, collisions, change of momentum, etc. And you know, then we naturally lead into the fact that at the upper ends of the atmosphere, the particles don't have that energy, do they? You know, the particles are barely moving. They've radiated a lot of the heat into the atmosphere. They've done a lot of work against gravitational potential to get themselves that high in the atmosphere. They literally do not have the energy which is why the pressure up there is zero. So we haven't got a vacuum against a pressurized environment, have we? We've got a vacuum next to an extremely low, almost negligible pressure. But he's using, obviously, like a deliberately so, when he comes up with that argument, he's using a deliberately false equivalence, isn't he?
Yes. And also you can bring up the one that I love to bring up against them, and that's sulfur hexafluoride right next to the atmosphere of the Earth with no container. Because that's what he's going to say. They can't exist. It's second law of thermodynamics. And he has no idea what the second law of thermodynamics involves. Yeah. But he's going to say that. And that's like the dumbest thing you could ever... Because the first thing they don't understand, okay? The first thing they have to understand is define container. Because when you define container, you cannot define container without the word force. So when you say, like, the container on top of a, let's say, a Tupperware dish of food, right? If you had so much food inside there that it exceeded, the force pushing out exceeded the amount that the container was holding itself together with, it would rip open the container and it would no longer be contained. There's forces involved in everything when you use the word container, and they don't even understand that. What else is a force that we consider? Well, gravity, right? So gravity, we can use that as the force, and therefore we do have a container that's holding the atmosphere down to the Earth.
Absolutely. It all comes down to gravity in the end, doesn't it? Because, you know, the main sort of argument they've got, the Earth can't do everything, you know, water being level, gas pressure next to everything comes down to gravity. And yet the only response I've ever had when people try and debunk gravity or say that Cavendish has been debunked, etc., is you come up with generic terms like, oh, the Cavendish effect has never been done with electromagnetic shielding, or, you know, not that they can explain how electromagnetism would affect the Cavendish experiment in the first place, but it all comes down to that, doesn't it?
Yes. Actually, me and me and BM Furball, we're actually working on designing a different style Cavendish experiment that should actually help us measure the differences in forces that are applied when you put objects of different mass underneath objects of given mass. So ultimately, we should still be able to measure G the same way the Cavendish experiment measures G, but we'll be doing it a different way that anybody can try at home, basically. I mean, you have to have a good scale, but like a 3-digit scale, a 1,000th, you know, a scale that goes down to the 1,000th of a gram. But once you're at that, you can actually do an experiment, a pretty easy experiment when I thought about it. It was after I saw that video we like to play, Fight the Flat Earth, where they slide that lead ball underneath that hanging weight and it pulls down harder. Well, what if you extended that into 4 arms, right? And you weighed the you amplify the force basically by extending it away from a scale. And then you run the same experiment with 4 balls instead of 1, so then you're amplifying the force by 4, and then you can measure what it comes out to on the scale. If the scale is a high enough if it's a high enough sensitivity, you can get pretty damn close to G. You won't be able to get specifically, it won't be as accurate as the Cavendish experiment, but it'll be a more practical way of showing mass attracting mass without having to let the torsion wire rest and all that, and taking precise measurements. Of course, the Cavendish experiment is going to be a more precise way of measuring G, but we would still be able to show that G exists.
Yeah, that's good.
So another question that I've heard Nathan use quite a lot: big data pimp. Airplanes must push the nose down. Explain why they don't just fly off into space.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, there's so many arguments, but ultimately, when you're flying a plane, if you think about the movement of the plane itself, just due to turbulence, and just due to the air moving it around, there are constant thousands and thousands of minor adjustments to keep the plane level, aren't there? And the plane flies level according to altimeter, and any kind of curvature of the earth or effect of that's going to have on the nose is well overridden anyway, isn't it, by the minor adjustments it's constantly making to account for that turbulence and that air resistance. But I was reading something early on. I was watching a video about why they're slightly tilted upwards, and I can't remember what that reason was. Why did they say they slightly tilt them upwards?
I can't remember. Bob was saying I think it's just to do with keeping the equilibrium of all the forces, right? I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a pilot, but they shouldn't fly off into space.
Well, you have to generate lift. You have to generate lift as well to counter the gravitational pull down. So you do. I'm sure you'll have to have some kind of inclination to generate even a modicum amount of lift. But I'm not a aerodynamic expert or a pilot, so you'd probably have to direct that question more to Wolfie or Bob the science guy.
But also it's like a self-correcting, because you're right there, you've got to generate lift, but obviously that lift is going to be due to the density of the air, if you like, isn't it? You're going to get more lift in a more dense medium, and if you are flying off into space, if you like, then effectively your altitude's getting higher, which means you're generating less lift. And
right.
You're gonna not fly as that. It's just like a self-correcting thing, isn't it? But it's a crazy argument, that one. I've seen that argument used as submarines as well. Why do submarines not?
Oh my god, yeah, Thrive and Survive did that.
but yeah, that's your field of how does a submarine? Because it's been a long time since I've captured my own submarine. How does that? How do they? What instruments and tools do they use?
Well, it's all about pressure. Once you have the right amount of ballast in your tanks, then you'll stay within that pressure band. But the thing about being on a submarine is that as you go further down in depth, the volume of the submarine decreases because of the pressure on the hull, which gives the sub a natural tendency to have an unstable equilibrium. So it's really hard to kind of keep a sub at one particular level. You have to keep constantly adjusting the trim and stuff. And any scuba diver would attest to this, that the further they go down, it's harder for them to maintain a particular depth because of the pressure pushing on them. So on a sub, it's all about the amount of pressure that is being exerted on the sub and the amount of ballast that you're able to bring in and push out of the sub to keep you at the same level of pressure as the water outside.
Hey, let me take a second to address the super chats that have come in before they get too far away. Frank Van Meter, what do you guys think of Eric Dubay lashing out against the current flat Earth movement? What do you think, Conspiracy Catz, about that?
Well, I only saw a video today. I forget whose channel it was on, and he was lashing out against Mark Sargent, but I've not watched it yet. So I've seen him. I've seen him dress up in women's clothes and pretend to be Patricia Steer, and to me that whole side of it kind of like sickens me, because there's no need. And I was going to say there's no need for personal. I know it might look like I personally attack it. In my eyes, it's a little bit of friendly banter. Maybe I crossed the line once or twice, but he's going all out personal attacks for no reason that I can see whatsoever. It's ridiculous.
Well,
He's batshit crazy.
As the movement moves forward in time, I believe Eric Dubé is becoming less and less relevant. You have other YouTubers like Jeranism who are getting bigger than him. You have people like ODD TV that's bigger than him. You have a lot of people, even Mark Sargent. Look at the attention Mark Sargent gets that Eric Dubé and Math Powerland don't get. And those are really, of the modern FE movement, those are really the three top guys. Jeranism kind of came in after them, but he's kind of surpassed all of them. So I can see why Eric Dubé would like to lash out against the community. And I asked Simon Dan this the other day, and I'll ask you about this. In my Flat Earther versus Astrophysicist video, Mark Sargent admits gravity is a thing, but he says it pulls it to a plane instead of a point. Now, when I brought this up to Simon Dan because I wanted to know what his opinion, and I guess you would like to know what your opinion is as well. What do you think about them changing their narrative to kind of more fit reality? Do you think this is, and this is probably why some of the flat earthers are going out against them, because they vehemently deny that gravity is a thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it pulls it towards flat Earth, then that raises a whole other load of questions, doesn't it? Like on a sphere, you've got that center of gravity, that center of mass, haven't you, in the middle of the Earth, and that perfectly explains everything. But on a flat Earth, what physical point is that center of gravity, and why therefore are things falling? They appear to fall vertical as opposed to an angle towards it. It just that makes not a lot of sense. Vsauce did a really good video, didn't he, on that? Have you seen the Vsauce gravity on a flat Earth?
Yeah, Vsauce was one of my first introductions to flat Earth, I think.
Yeah, he gets a lot of promotion from YouTube for, if you search flat Earth, there's a good chance you're going to see him in the top 3 or 4 videos. And it's a great video. He does, like you said, he points it out that there are problems that, so if gravity exists as we believe it exists, then the flat Earth is impossible, because we know that we don't get pulled to a center point as we get further away from either the North Pole or the equator, whatever they want to define as the center point of gravity. We know that this doesn't happen, so we know it's not pulled to a point on a flat Earth. If it's like Mark Sargent says, if it's being pulled to a plane, then we would need to know why the physics. Where is he getting this notion? Because we have actual. It's not just what we see being pulled to the surface of the Earth that defines what we understand about gravity. It's what we see with the Galilean moons. It's what we see with the Mercury's precession. It's what we see with the moon. It's what we see in the cosmos that really defines what we understand about gravity. I believe gravity was actually invented from Kepler's laws, which describe planetary motion. I believe that's correct, is it not?
What that's where the idea of gravity come from?
I'm not sure if it's that's where the idea. I'm saying more like I believe that's where they derived the equation from gravity. Was through
derived the equation from that.
Yeah. So gravity is not based on celestial or on terrestrial observations. It's more based on celestial observations.
Yeah. But the wider question of what you said, like, is it good that flat earthers are trying to take concepts like gravity and incorporate it to explain how things will work? But that's what we've been asking for ages, isn't it? Rather than ignore stuff, can you make a model? And what will happen is it'll become like a broken spreadsheet for them, because every time they try and explain something else will break. Simple sunrise and sunset. And a localized sun where you get no angular size change, do you? And so you might have one model that will explain one thing, but it breaks somewhere else. And I think people that are on the verge of flat Earth, when these models come out, they realize just how flawed the whole thing is.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me move forward on the super chats real quick. Boris the Healer, long-time listener, first-time chatter. Thank you very much. $3. Thank you very much, sir. You'll need to stick around because there's a lot of shit going on. We're about to have some fun in this channel, exposing these flat earthers for the idiots they are.
Nathan Thompson and JM Truth got no idea what's coming, have they?
No, they don't. 0132132. Does oil separating out of water violate the second law of thermodynamics? No, but you know what? I'll touch on a topic here that we kind of discussed refraction a while back, and I want to point out something to people. Not a lot of people understand this about refraction, and since we're talking about oil and water, a lot of times people believe refraction is based on density. Okay, refraction is only based on density when you're looking at two objects that are two mediums that are molecularly identical. Okay, so when you have the molecularly identical mediums, but one's more dense than the other, you're going to get more refraction. But refraction is not based on density, and a lot of people make this mistake. Ethyl alcohol and olive oil are two good examples of mediums that are less dense than water. In other words, they float on top of water, but they're more they have a higher refractive index than water does. So I know that's kind of off topic, but I saw the oil water thing and I heard somebody say this in another hangout, and I just want to make sure that everybody understands the correct understanding of, the refraction when it comes to oil and water. But yes, the second law of thermodynamics does not it doesn't violate the second law of thermodynamics spreading oil from water. But thank you 0132 for the super chat, $6.66. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. They keep going on about the second law of thermodynamics, but if you ask them what the zeroth law of thermodynamics is, or the first law of thermodynamics is, they're going to go,
Yeah. Well, the thing about they don't want to understand everything. They just want to understand the points that help them out. When you don't understand everything, then you don't know how to argue your points. It's like if they understood all of what gravity entailed, they wouldn't be able to refute gravity. They wouldn't just be able to out there say, it's just the buoyant force, it's relative density. That means nothing without gravity. Nothing. All right, so let me see. Knax122499. Be sure to have the definitions for independent variable and null hypothesis on hand. Good luck, Conspiracy Catz. Yeah, we covered null hypothesis. Let me ask you a question, Conspiracy Catz. Is time a dependent or independent variable?
You don't have to be a Time Lord to. You don't have to be able to.
oh my God.
I use time as an independent variable all the time in school.
Yes, time is.
Right. This is the way I was trying to describe it to Anthony Riley, right? I want to figure out how much I like my tea to be brewed. I want to get the perfect brew of a cup of tea. So I've got 3 cups of tea. One of them I've left the tea bag in for 2 minutes. One I've left the tea bag in for 4 minutes. One I've left the tea bag in for 6 minutes. What's the independent variable there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the amount of time
you cannot better explain it than that right there, what you just said. You cannot better explain that.
But he argued idiots. Blind with me that no, you can't say that because you can't say that time is the cause of the tea diffusing in the water. And I was like, what the actual do you mean? Yeah. I'm not trying to say time is the cause of what's happening to the tea, but the amount of time that it's been in is going to affect the amount of diffusion of the tea bags. Like, how does he not get this?
See, he gets so confused. What he wants, if you do an investigation, you can come up with a link between an independent and a dependent variable. But he wants that investigation to always explain the mechanism behind that link. And that's not, you find a link and then you do further investigations to try and find out what that mechanism is. But, he and that's where he gets let down. If you talk about, Polaris, changing your latitude and measuring the angle of Polaris in the sky, there's definitely a link between those two, but he that's what you found. He will then say, well, when you change your latitude, what you're not doing is actually determining the mechanism by which the Earth becomes curved, and it just makes no sense whatsoever what he says.
Right, because you're testing a model. Here's what you do. You approach it with the ignorance of not knowing what the mechanism is, not knowing what the shape of the Earth is, and then you make a guess, right? You say, okay, I'm gonna assume that it's a sphere. Now, what needs to happen for my assumption to be true? Let's test my assumption out. So then you go and you make a measurement and you say, does this match what I believe. If it doesn't match what you believe, then what you believe is wrong. If you think the earth is flat and you see at, let's say at 45 degrees latitude, you see the Polaris at 45 degrees off of your, off the horizon, then you can go and say, okay, you can say, I know I'm this far away from the North Pole, and at the North Pole, it's directly over my head. I can use, here's my angle. I can use a little bit of trigonometry to determine, the links of to Polaris and the height of Polaris. And then what you can do is you can step back and you can go to 60 degrees down. And then you can say, I'm going to take the equation that I just had based on the model that I think it is, and I'm going to apply this and see if the measurement at 60 degrees matches what it should be when and conform with the the numbers I got at 45 degrees. And if they don't, then get rid of it. That's it. It's done. And then go back to the drawing board and say, what's the next hypothesis? What's the next idea that I need to try to address if I still am interested in finding out what the shape of the earth is? And then check them all. And only one, the truth, only one will match every time. Sorry, flat earthers. The earth's not flat, and you're a fucking idiot.
Ding. And the amazing thing is that it's like they don't want you to be able to complete an experiment, because I started asking Riley, okay, so what would the independent variable be then? What would I need to do to make this a legitimate experiment? And he was like, well, no, that's not for me to tell you. But, and it's like, well, you're saying this isn't a legitimate experiment, or this isn't science because it hasn't been done like this. But how about you actually give me a way that it could be done? But that's the thing. Whenever you try and present something, they're then good to go, oh, well, you're just presupposing it's a globe, so it's invalid.
Mm.
All right. Go ahead.
Like Skeptic then just said, you're not presupposing a globe. You could take that Polaris argument, and you could have in mind 50 different shapes. You could have in mind 1,000 different shapes. But like you just said then, you rule out all those other shapes because your observations make those other shapes impossible. And like I said, you are just left with one.
And that gets to the second part of that super chat, which is the null hypothesis, which you just explained very elegantly without saying the words null hypothesis. If you say, if you think the earth is a globe, what's the first thing you should do? You should then construct a null hypothesis that says, no, the earth is flat. So then let's go test that. Let's go test the flat earth. Okay, well, the flat earth fails. So what do we do next? Well, we say, it's a pyramid. Okay, well, we go out and we test pyramid. Nope, not a pyramid. Eventually, we run out of all understanding given our current all possibilities, given our current scientific understanding, right? We get rid of all of them. So we're left with just the globe earth. Now, let's say 10 years from now, our scientific understanding changes. And we say, oh, look, there's this new possibility we never even knew was possible. And then we have this possibility. And guess what? Our current hypothesis is still under scrutiny every single day. So then we say, now we have a new hypothesis. We then have to nullify that as well, because if we can prove that hypothesis to be more correct than our current one, then we have essentially switched our hypothesis over to the more correct one and nullified our current understanding. And that's the way science works, guys.
I've got a very important question, though. What has Anthony Riley got against roosters?
Because
what if I missed?
What's all that? What's that all that about? Fight the flat Earth, about the rooster?
That's the argument he keeps bringing up to try and say that time can't be an independent variable and stuff.
Yeah, you didn't hear that argument, Catz? The sun rising due to the rooster. He says if you walk out and you shoot the rooster in the head. Why you gotta be so violent, man? What'd the rooster ever do to you, man? He makes the fucking sun come up every day. You kill that rooster, your sun ain't gonna come up no more, Riley.
Oh man!
All right, so let me address another couple of super chats. Your run for six. Oh my gosh, this is a euro. Yeah, euro. I'm sorry, Catz. I don't know if you know this or not, but I struggle with that.
Do I have to send another super chat is explaining it?
$6.60 or 6.66 euros. When you throw sand in water, it sinks, but when you throw water on sand, it sinks too. Can you tell me why, Nathan? Great point. Never thought of it like that.
I bet he can't tell you why.
All right, Scrat the Skeptic Squirrel. He's trying to claim that he invented the flat Earth movement. I think all three of those guys, Mark Sargent tries to do it subtly, but every time he's on camera. Okay, don't get it wrong. Oh no. All these people walk up and they just want my autograph. I'm a normal person, guys. Come on. Don't look at me like I'm anything special, because guess what? I'm not. I'm just the founder of the Flat Earth and one of the largest people on the internet and probably one of the most recognizable faces. And I have a shirt that has my name on it. Everybody fucking knows about my shirt. I'm nobody special.
I'm Mark Sargent.
I'm Mark Sargent. Yeah, they all think that they're fucking the people who are the inventors. And Math Powerland does it in a different way. He goes and puts himself in a fucking solo train station and screams at a camera that none of the other flat earthers believe him, and no, they don't want to. Oh, whatever, dude. Shut up and put on some clothes. And then you got Eric Dubay, who I don't know what he's doing, man. He is the most monotone person I've ever fucking listened to. And I swear to God, every video I've done of his, I've had to take a nap in the middle of cutting his clips. I said, no, I can't do this, man. He's making me want to go meditate and sleep for a little bit.
Right. I've got to ask you too. What do you find the hardest bit about making a video? Because for me, it's actually sitting through the Flat Earthers video and cutting it up.
For me, it's deciding what video to make, because there's only so many times you can make a video about somebody that mistakes density for gravity, and there's only so many times you can make videos and this, that, and the other. And I think I'm spent. I think I've run out. So finding stuff to make videos on is really, really hard. Yeah,
no, that is quite hard. What about you, team?
I would say the same thing. My problem is finding a video that I think the viewer will also find entertaining. So yeah. I see things that I could do a 20-minute debunk video, and I could debunk 15 flat earth videos in 20 minutes. I could easily do that because there's no substance to them, you know. But then you'll find that one video that he takes the time out to do mathematical calculations, and he takes the time to try to explain something. So those videos are a little bit more entertaining to do, because then you see how they're so wrong in their explanations and their methodology, and you can attack that. And then you can point out where, like in my opinion, I point out where they're so obviously making common sense mistakes, and I try to throw in a little bit of banter and call them an idiot and ding them with my dinger.
You need to be careful dinging people with your dinger. You're going to get in trouble.
The tip of my dinger has begun to swell. Okay.
I'm such a child.
Back to Super Chat. Scrat the Skeptic Squirrel again. And he donated $5 on that last one. $5 again. I was watching Vsauce long before I was even aware there was a flat earth movement of people debunking it. I wasn't. Vsauce was somebody that I was not that aware of until I started into the Flat Earth movement, and I saw his videos so many times pop up as the recommended next video. And I was like, no, quit doing this. But I've seen him before. I've just never followed him, because I do also watch a lot of science documentaries, a lot of videos that explain scientific concepts, the history of the science community and stuff like that. So, what about you, Conspiracy Catz? When were you first introduced to Vsauce?
Oh well, years, because I'm a science teacher. I'm forever trying to Google clips like that the kids would really want to watch. Clips on science that would really grab their attention. So it took years and years ago. It'll have popped up in my feed. I can't remember the time, but it was that long ago. Probably when not long after he started, years and years and years ago.
All right, and then Night Demon for $2. Later, I have a exp to talk with Team Skeptic about an FTFE Discord, I guess. I'm not. Night Demon, reach out to me. I'm not 100% sure what you're trying to say there. Rennie Baby, $5 through Super Chat. The laser light experiment or double glory hole. Yes, I remember that. That was like they leave themselves open too many times. Like when you put up two walls and they both have a hole approximately where you would see someone like Jeranism putting his face. You
Yeah.
cannot expect me to not take advantage of that opportunity for comic relief. So
You
yes,
know,
the double glory hole experiment.
I reckon the word interesting is probably in Jaren's banned list on his YouTube channel.
Yes. And she also, Rennie Baby also said, and yes, girls need to get to making videos. I might start with videos like Nathan Thompson in my car. Yes, I definitely think there's an underrepresentation of the female community on YouTube. Whether that be just that they're not trying to be confrontational as we are, or whatever the case may be. I definitely think that there's some great creators out there that need more exposure, and there is probably a good a good audience, a good desire for the female creator, because there's not enough in there. So if I was a female creator and I was thinking about doing YouTube videos and I was on top of the whole science and understanding of that, I would definitely be approaching the flat earth topic, due to the fact that there's no ladies and it's such an open market for the female creator.
Yeah, I've got a question for Catz quickly. I saw someone in the chat ask who would win out of a fight between Conspiracy Catz and Baldy Catz.
Oh, Baldy Catz is a pussy. Definitely.
I'm emailing him that right now.
Don't, you'll kick me ass.
Yes, Baldy Catz, great person. I love the guy as if he's my brother. Because I love Conspiracy Catz as if he's my brother, and that's his actual brother. So, from what I understand, I believe Catz is actually trying to copy his haircut, doing it successfully too. I definitely want to commend you on the shine today.
I'm getting that. You know what I'm going to do though? When I've got a few weeks holiday, I'm going to grow my hair out just a little bit, just so I can show one video that I can actually grow my hair. Just one. I'll do like a 10-second clip and then get it cut.
See,
are you just not going to nair for that week?
Yeah, I'll take a few weeks off YouTube and then literally I'll just not shave any hair on my body at all.
Do you know what nair is?
The hair removal cream.
Yes.
Oh,
that's what I said. You're just gonna nair. You're just not gonna not nair, as if you nair every day to keep yourself bald.
Yeah, I'll not nair. I'll not nair that way.
All right. So Alexander M. Hey guys, can we just show the Flurfers collection of pictures from space and ask to prove they're fabricated one by one? So that again, we were talking about this before we started. When you show a flat earther a picture from space and they say it's fake, you can't let them get away with that. I'm starting to learn that now. They have to be, if they're going to make a positive claim that that's fake, then they need to be able to prove that it's fake. To say that NASA's just doing it means that they're being lazy about their debunk, their idea about what they're looking at. They're just being lazy. They're not taking the time to prove that it's wrong, because only one thing, and I'll say this to the end, only one thing cannot be proven wrong. And that's the truth. So if it's a false, if it's a fake photo, if it's not true, then there's absolutely at least one way to know that for sure. Get off your ass and find it.
Yeah, but they're so quick to do that hand wave sort of dismissal with all sorts. Even you'll all know, even in the chat stream, is someone, they ask for like proof doing NASA or photographs. They just, the response is just a laugh, isn't it? It's like, oh, NASA, oh my God, yeah, you've got nothing. Or you talk about pictures from space, you talk about gravity, and they'll just laugh because, like you said, they can't explain it away. They can't prove it wrong.
And they can't accept it either. They can't accept it because it falsifies their narrative.
And the thing about pictures and stuff from space is that all we have to do is prove that one of them is real. Just one. Because if just one of those pictures is real, then the flat Earth isn't. And the fact that there's millions of them from space every year, they have to just say it's fake, because that's the only out that they have.
Yeah.
And William signs for $2, and I'm going to add to this because this goes to fight the flat Earth. It said the rooster dumped him. I'm going to change that up, and I'm going to say the rooster dumped him because they caught Riley choking the chicken.
Oh my goodness. Brainy Beaver said that he once nared his whole body and he looked like a baby beluga whale.
Nice.
Right. Is there any more questions for Conspiracy Catz? I don't think so. Team, you there? Or are you busy?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Just waiting on you to quit with the awkward silence moments again.
Sorry.
No, okay, so let me pull back up the chat. I was actually looking at the super chats to get through those. I wasn't looking at the actual chat itself. But yeah, so what are you what's next, man? Are you gonna stick with Flat Earth? Are you gonna try to attack different topics like Dan's been doing, like with the mud flood, or what's your intentions after Flat Earth dies? Because it's only got about 3 or 4 more days.
I don't think I've got long on Flat Earth myself. I think every week I'm wishing I could do something different. I think Conspiracy Catz is going to change quite significantly over the next couple of months. I mean, the Flat Earth videos, they're quite easy to make. So while I'm really, really busy in real life to keep content coming out, they're fairly easy to put together. But there'll come a time, 12 months down the line, and Flat Earth might have featured maybe 10% of what I do. I really want to stretch out and just do all sorts of stuff.
So you're saying I chose the wrong name for my channel?
Not at all, mate. Not at all. No, I think for just for me, like I'm just difficult to find new stuff to do every week. Like I said before, I'm finding it really, really hard to come up with something that hasn't been said, better by someone else or that I've not said before. And there's other things I really want to do, So I don't know exactly what it will be, but it will be very different.
Well, Einstein said that there's 2 things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and he wasn't sure about the universe.
Well, there's always going to be stuff to make content on, isn't there?
Yeah,
definitely. People are always going to put stuff out there. But
the mud floods is one that's getting me at the moment. Like the fact that they think the reason why there's windows in the floor is because that's buildings that have been covered up. They don't know what basements are.
I saw a creaking it was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like,
and €2 from the Snark. Hey, Catz, let's meet up again.
Oh, Snark's a cool guy. I did meet up with him. We met up in Manchester. Had something to eat. He's the guy that wrote the outro tune that I've got on my videos. He's a really cool guy.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I think he speaks. I can't remember how many languages it was now, but really clever guy, nice guy.
All right. Well, what else you want to talk about today? Fight the Flat Earth.
Well, there is so much going on in Flat Earth at the moment. The thing about Anthony Riley and falling out with Nathan Oakley is quite interesting. What do you think about that, Catz?
Well, I was a bit I heard about that a few weeks ago. Is that still going on? So like, I
still don't think he's been on the Flat Earth debate since then.
I've heard him once, just once, but I don't listen to Nathan much at all. So yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. He's very sort of like flippy floppies, Anthony. He'll say one thing and then he'll do something else. 1 minute he'll speak to me, then I'm his worst enemy and he's got me blocked. Then he'll speak to me again. So it wouldn't surprise me if in a short amount of time he's not back on there.
Yeah, the thing about Anthony Riley,
are they separated or did they get an official divorce?
I don't know. I think maybe it's a trial separation.
Who do you think's top and who do you think's bottom?
I think they're both bottom.
Both bottom. They'll never get anything done that way.
The thing is, though, that obviously Riley is like the spokesman for FE Corps. And when Nathan Oakley and Bob Nadell had such a public falling out, I think that put Riley in a really awkward position.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because Riley and Bob were friendly, weren't they?
Yeah.
Fight the Flat Earth. Night Demon said he's talking about the experiment that you're running on Fight the Flat Earth's Discord. So,
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll just tell people about that. I don't know if you know, Cats. I'm organizing Project Aristophanes, where we're going to take 4 different latitudes across the American continent along Montreal, New York, California, and Lima. And on the 25th of May, going to do what Aristophanes did and, measure the shadows of a stick at local noon. And I'm going to get all the data like live mapped onto a model and try and measure the planet in real time. I've got hundreds of people that are currently going to be doing it. They'll be streaming it to Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. I'm going to just get as much of this stuff together as I can and live, measure the planet and see what we get. And if we get around about 25,000 miles, then that's kind of confirms that the Earth is what we say it is. And again, that's actually thanks to Anthony Riley, because through him, because of him being stupid, I got hold of George Musser, and George Musser is the one that suggested doing this experiment. So yeah, Project Aristophanes. If you guys want to get involved, just send me an email at fighttheflatearth at gmail.com, and let's measure the planet and kill flat Earth.
That would be great. That will be great.
Yeah. So yeah, again, but it's Riley's fault that this is happening.
Well, ultimately, you can't keep saying the same dribble that they say over on that show week in, week out, and then not end up being called out on it. And have you noticed that they're having to resort to saying more and more ludicrously silly stuff as it becomes painfully obvious that everything they said up to this point has been proven wrong.
Yeah.
Hence why we're in this bloody independent variable argument at the minute, because it's all they've got left.
Yeah, it's broken down to semantics about what constitutes a scientific experiment and stuff, and it's pointless because it keeps the actual debate away from the substance of what we're talking about.
But that's exactly what they were, because having an argument with somebody about the semantics of a definition or semantic, anybody can do that, and anybody can spin a show out about it. Anyone can start screaming and shouting over somebody, and you literally could do what Nathan's doing, and you could make it drag on and on and on, because even if you're wrong, because at the end of the day, if you're proven to be wrong, you're still not debunking flat Earth, because all you're doing is talking about the semantics of a definition, and they'll just say, "Oh yeah, I'm wrong," and they'll come up with the next bit of bullshit.
Yeah. The funny thing is if you ask them to use the same scrutiny on their own model, they would never do that. They don't. They only want to scrutinize your beliefs of your model.
Sorry, model? What model?
Yeah. Oh, it was my favorite one was when Nathan Thompson was like, "We don't live on a model." Yeah, well, no shit, right? Do you even understand what the difference is between a model of reality and a dollhouse model? Like, do you understand the colloquial difference between the two terms?
They don't understand that words have different meanings, and so they can't. You say a model. Well, I don't live on a little model. Oh my God, you absolute mental case.
Yeah, they struggle, man. They struggle with cognitive dissonance as bad as it's been in anything I've ever seen. I mean, they just do not. They want you to be held to the ultimate scrutiny, but how dare you scrutinize their views?
Yeah, William Sainz says they have the shifting goalposts model.
Yeah, constantly moving, constantly. But yeah, I like debating or debunking flat Earth.
It's fun.
I like I said, I spend a lot more time trying to find good quality videos. I actually found a good quality video, and one I normally don't find. I only found this one because I can't. One of the people were like, "You need to check this out. I don't think they're right about this." They were talking about like Quantum Eraser, right? Quantum Eraser, who thinks that he's debunked De Broglie, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, De Broglie's wavelength. He's debunked all these quantum mechanical theories. This jackass that doesn't understand the difference between zero and infinitesimally small. Okay, because I heard him say this. He was like, "How can anything have a density of infinity when you have a zero in the denominator?" And I was listening to Arwen saying, "I don't know if that's right. I don't know if you guys are right, explain this better, and they're trying to explain how the scientific definition is a point of space that has zero volume. But what they don't understand is it's not necessarily zero size. It's infinitesimally small. So there's still some kind of volume to it. Otherwise, you couldn't put 2 points next to each other. You would never have more than 1 point if they had zero size. So these are the fundamental problems that the flat Earth will always have, is that they don't understand these concepts, but they believe they do.
Or they believe that they believe they do.
But what's worse is the people who watch them and listen to them and believe them. Yeah, that they put faith that the confident speaking flat Earth on the internet knows what they're talking about, and that's why they parrot so much. You know, I mean, how many times have we heard them parrot phrases like angle of attack or diffraction limit? You know, except they just parrot stuff that they just got faith.
Oh, Catz! Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna forget that moment of what is diffraction, Nathan? Go on. That was literally one of the best things I've ever seen.
No, he's wound his neck, and I was on a Skype chat. I got called into that, obviously, because Anthony phoned me on Skype, and he put Nathan on the same call, and I was actually on the. Anthony left afterwards, but Nathan stayed in. And when I was editing the video, and I had that clip, I filmed because Anthony had taken it down by then. I think Nathan had said to him, "Take it down because he'll make a video on it." But I'd already downloaded it, and I filmed it, and I sent it to Nathan on Skype. And I know he saw it because you get that little tick. But no reply whatsoever. He's literally just like, doesn't want anything to do with it. Gone.
No, it was just the silence when you were like, "Go on, I'll give you 10 seconds," and he didn't say anything. And then you waited the 10 seconds, and you were like, "Oh, so you don't know?" And he was like, "Well, if you don't shut the fuck up."
He needs a taste of his own medicine, doesn't he? Because how often does he do that to people? You know, because he has a mute button. Well, you know, that's what he needed.
Yeah, I'm never speaking to him unless it's outside of his channel. But he doesn't believe the Earth is flat anyway. There's absolutely no way he believes the Earth is flat. I mean, we've all seen that Vice clip. Who the fuck would go and wake up their wife in the middle of the night to tell them that the Earth was flat? I did that with a black eye or two.
Yeah, it's not something I'd get away with, I tell you.
No. Emma, wake up, the Earth's flat. Ow!
You can't be in it as long as he's been in it and done as many kind of like shows and debates or whatever, you know, he wants to call them. He has heard so many arguments against flat Earth that if he is a flat earther, his argument should be so much more sophisticated than it is, because he's heard these arguments and he should be thinking about but he's still saying the same old shit that anybody would say, you know, when they're first introduced to it. It's almost like he's had no debates whatsoever. You know, he's not paying attention. Like, he's not a flat earther. He's not interested. He just wants to regurgitate stuff and then talk about semantics.
What's it? It's like 800 or something. His flat Earth debate is on. Like, how can you do 800 shows and still be saying the same thing?
Exactly.
And who wants to watch? Like, how many viewers does he get? Like, when his debates are up?
Very few. He gets less than, I think it probably averages about 600 or 700 over the lifetime of a normal debate video.
Oh, right. So not when it's actually live, probably just like 30 or 40 people watching.
I think he's lucky to hit 100.
Let's go see if he's tagging Conspiracy Catz in his videos like he tags me.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll go find out real quick. He tags me in every one of his live streams. I've never had a conversation with the guy. I've never been on his show. He's never been on my show. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I understand this is going to hurt you in the long run because the YouTube algorithm is going to realize that I have nothing to do with that. And it's going to start it's not going to take your tags seriously. And that's ultimately how it works. Like, I looked this up and learned this. It says why my channel's starting to do better is because I went through and said, oh, I have these tags in here that I was suggested by whatever, and they had nothing to do with the videos. I changed the tags, and the videos start doing better. So
so it looks like he has Red Rhetoric, Wolfie 6020, Team Skeptic, Slice Arcane, and SpaceX. Like,
neither
there's no
one
other.
of y'all are important. Hell yeah. I'm so much more important than both of you guys.
Like, but yeah, if you're just constantly, he must have it as like an automatic in his default for it.
And
But
Simon
yeah,
and Dan.
the algorithm's going to notice that he never actually talks about those things or has them in it, and then it's going to ignore it out of his results completely. So it's just going to hurt him.
Well, his channel is struggling. You know, he had that big boost in subs when he got the mention on Jeranism, didn't he? Not so long ago. But if you look now, his Social Blade is losing subscribers pretty much on a daily basis. His views are down.
Yeah, lost 1 sub today.
That would be.
Who wants to hear someone yell at another person? People go to watch you so that you can have a conversation, some kind of conversation. Which it's exactly why I didn't understand why Hip Hop Hippie did what he did the other night on the Non-Sex Show. Like I went back and listened to that, and I was like, when he got onto the panel, the very first thing I said was, "Hey, Hip Hop Hippie, how you doing tonight?" Like I came in with a very, let's have a talk demeanor. I even said, this is very impromptu. I'm not expecting you to provide like evidence or anything like that. Just give me some kind of explanation as to anything you do your best to support whatever claim you may have. And I'll do my best to support my claim. Right off from the beginning, he just starts trying to yell at me. And I was like, are you kidding me? Okay. All right, you want to yell? Well, this has never worked out for a flat earther against me, so let's go ahead and make you the next person that loses to me because I'm more dominant than you in real life.
Yeah,
like piece of shit.
It is brilliant. Like there is no. The thing is, I enjoy doing the debates, but there is no new arguments. It's just knowing the same things over and over and learning how to deal with the particular people that you're debating. Anyway, so why don't we start getting on with My Buddy's an Idiot?
Yeah. So, okay, everybody, if you will start getting your My Buddy's an Idiot ready to go, if you put it in the chat, Conspiracy Catz, me, and Fight the Flat Earth, we'll start reading them off. Now, we already talked about this, Conspiracy Catz. I'm going to need you to be perfect here, okay? No message. Dan couldn't do it. Dan couldn't do it. He tried.
I won't let you down, man. I will not let you down.
Please don't treat this the same way you treated our FIFA matches. If you do this, anything like that, then it's gonna take us forever to get through the My Buddy's an Idiot. Do you have the chat pulled up so you can see it?
I do, mate. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now it always takes a few seconds because they're about a minute behind us, but we will let them come in. Okay, so I'm starting to see the first ones. All right, so I'll start this off. We'll go to Fight the Flat Earth, and then we'll go to Conspiracy Catz. Chrismer says, my buddy's an idiot because he doesn't think ASCII art is awesome. Chrismer, I love your ASCII art, man. You're a fucking beast. I'm not sure if
I've seen a couple of FTFEs in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, Catz, but Chrismer is one of the ASCII artists in our community that he's in the chat. He's always throwing up badass ASCII. Totally cool. Good job, Chrismer. Thank you very much.
Okay, Clifford Reynolds says, my buddy's an idiot because he lives in his car.
And the chat just jumped. Right. I promised I wasn't going to screw this up. I'm screwing it up on the first one.
We'll start over. We're starting with you, Catz. Go.
Right, hang on. Don't help me out. I'm going to find this. I can't. The chat jumped. Someone put a super chat in.
It jumps up. Okay, William Signs is where we're at. I'll let you start.
Right, William Signs.
Above Bullwinkle.
Oh, man. Right, look, right. My buddy's an idiot because he believes in reptilians.
All right, so now let me get to the next one because I was already looking for the very next one when you ruined our moment, and now I ruined it. Okay, with everybody. Okay,
Scott DeLeon.
Yeah, Scott DeLeon. My buddies are idiots because they've decided to do a live night when Reds was premiering the Falcon 9 launch. Yeah, we had this planned for about a week. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. The Elmings says my buddy's an idiot because he thinks space, is CGI.
Right. Area 85 Restorations says my buddy is an idiot because he keeps saying the bottom line and never gets to the bottom line.
Oh my God, Russian bids.
Yeah. Patrick Postman, my buddy's an idiot because he thinks the U.S. is at war with South Korea. What?
Oh, that's in my video. Nathan Thompson was listing off the enemies of the USA, and he said South Korea was one of them. They're the ones with the flip-flops and the AKs, apparently.
Oh, my God.
Groucho Snark says, my buddy is an idiot because he can't tell North and South Korea apart on a map. Yeah.
Radical is tagged you in this one, Team Skeptic. Radical says, my buddy is an idiot because he thinks he can take on Bruce Lee's flying kick.
Yeah, I'll never live that down. And Radical, if I ever make it into your video without Bruce Lee giving me a flying kick, I will be severely disappointed in you. All right, Corey Vachon, my buddy's an idiot because he got beaten FIFA by Simon Dan. What the hell is wrong with you, Corey? Why are you bringing up old shit?
Oh, Colin says, my buddy's an idiot
Corey.
because he lives in his car and gets his Wi-Fi from McDonald's. Yeah, I think all flat earthers are in their car because either that's where they live or that's where their family makes them go.
If we missed Jimmy Callanan, did I miss that? My buddy's an idiot because I said so.
Yeah, all right, I missed that one, my bad.
Brainy Beaver says, my buddy's an idiot because he dresses like Orphan Red and pretends to be a complete lush in a beaver mask.
Crashes RC Budget Builds and Reviews says, my buddy's an idiot because he doesn't believe my flat earth model will function as designed. Yeah, I saw Crashes RC Budget Builds and Reviews say something earlier about he's going to have a functioning flat earth model on his channel. That's interesting.
Quality. I've lost it again.
It's moving fast.
Jeffrey Sloan.
Oh man, you know what? This is harder than it looks. Pressure's on. I can see one from Sean Hufford. I'm going to read it out, but I don't know if I've missed one. Sean Hufford, hi Sean. It says, my buddy's an idiot because he still thinks a meat tube is a thing.
Hold on. We got to stop here because we have to address this right now. Conspiracy Catz. I asked Simon Dan this. I highly doubt you'll have ever even eaten any Taco Bell tacos before 1996. But should you have ever eaten a Taco Bell taco before 1996, do you remember the meat tube that they used to squirt the meat out into the taco with?
I have no experience with meat tubes. No, I can't.
The meat tube is real, son. The meat tube is real. Jeffrey Sloan, my buddy's an idiot because he thinks 10 to the negative 17th is a negative number. Yes, he is. Fucking idiot, JM Truth. Sorry, I pounded that bell hard.
Yeah, you did. Tommy Grunfeld, my buddy is an idiot because of reasons. His name is at my 2 cents.
I'm totally out of order here, but Fatal Gravity says my buddy's an idiot because he wears a globe on his head and drives a Fiat 500.
Jerry Farmer says my buddy's an idiot because he believes in Pizzagate.
Schrodinger's cat says my buddy is an idiot because he hasn't subscribed to my channel. Yeah, that's right, guys. You should subscribe to Schrodinger's cat because we're not sure if he's alive or dead. If you could help us out with that, that'd be great.
I'm just reading. I'm completely ruining the order. I'm just reading them at random because I'm lost. William Sine says my buddy's an idiot because she didn't know California was part of the United States.
The casual spaceman says my buddy. Oh my God! It just jumped while I was reading it. All right, my buddy's an idiot because he thought he said Team Skeptic was a good-looking guy. Just kidding, dickhead.
Wildman Fujiyami says my buddy is an idiot because he thinks a live electrical socket is a paperclip holder.
Big shout out to Wildman Fujiyami, my channel artist. I cannot say enough how much I appreciate everything you do for me and all the amazing work you did. He has we have a new background coming out on my next video that he's finishing up, and it's amazing. It has everybody in it. So thank you very much, Wildman. I do appreciate you, brother.
0132 says my buddy's an idiot because he thinks it's impossible to figure out how long he should brew tea for.
At Chris Cadwell says my buddy's an idiot because he voluntarily spends time with me. Chris, you're in my chat, man. You're doing good. I would spend time with you because you hang out in my chat. So I don't know. Your buddy's a good guy.
I guess we are spending time with him right now, I suppose. PR Dibble says my buddy's an idiot because he's pro a second Scottish independence vote and yet against a second Brexit vote. Ooh, political. Although, yeah, that is confusing.
Oh no, it jumped. Right. Insidious Viz says My buddy's an idiot because he told everyone in the room they smelled like shit before checking his own shoes.
Golden Skeptic says, my buddy's an idiot because he can't Google Foucault.
McFlatty says, my buddy's an idiot because he doesn't live in his car.
Taking S2 says, my buddy's an idiot because he thinks he can compete against Catz in a debate.
Heaven's Pregnant Tynes says, my buddy's an idiot because he thinks flat Earth is an English-speaking disease. Kind of is.
Oh my God! It's just all jumped on me now. Where are we? I'm just going to go with Leah's logic. My buddy's an idiot because she thinks her IQ cures her flat Earth disease. Yeah, or from Red, new name Mensa.
Anthony S says, my buddy is an idiot because his ring laser gyro proved the spin.
Yeah.
MA2 Fletcher Eisler, we'll make this one the last one. My buddy is an idiot because he ruins my buddy is an idiot on the first try. Here you go, Catz. This one's for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let me get through the last couple of super chats that came in, and then we'll start wrapping this up. Let's see. Let me see where I finished. Okay, Marius Ocamp donated 10 pounds. I got that one right the first time. What do you tell a flat earther with two black eyes? I don't even have to read the rest of it. Nothing. I've already told that idiot twice. MA2 Fletcher Eisler. All hell the imaginary meat tube, as real as the flat earth. No, it's way more real than the flat earth. Can't believe
you're just not going to get over that you've been Mandela, are you?
This is not. I don't believe it. I'm almost believe in Mandela at this point. And now I'm not just talking about Nelson Mandela, but that freaking Mandela effect. I'm almost ready to believe in that due to the meat tube and Taco Bell. And then David Shipley, $2 through Super Chat. Here, look, one more. My buddy's an idiot because he can't find my buddy's an idiot comments. I think that was directed at you too, Catz. So hold on. There you go.
I deserve it.
All right. So before we get on to our final closing out arguments and everything like that, do you have anything else to say, Catz?
Just thanks for having us on. I really enjoyed this today, and I'm thanks. Yeah, it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks for coming on, man. It's great to have you on. I think both team and I can say that your success is inspiring, and thanks for what you do for the world of science.
Oh, thank you very much. It's very humbling.
Yeah, I would say that that when I first started, it was Dan who was my peer, and he just blew by me when I took my little break from YouTube. I came back. He was way too far for me to be able to say, let me track my channel against this guy's. And then you came along, and I thought, oh, look, there's another channel I can track myself against. Good. I'm about 7,000 subscribers up on this little channel. I'll piss all over his stuff. Who's this Conspiracy Catz guy, right? And then I look up, and you got 20,000. I'm like, oh, shit. 20,000 subs, Catz, man. You're amazing, bro. I can't believe that you had such good success, and I'm so happy for you, man. And just thank you for your contributions to this community, to videos that I've done, to just the community as a whole. You're a man amongst children in this world.
I don't know. Thanks, man. Thanks. But no, like I said, your channel, I'm predicting big things this year. What month are we in now? May. I think by Christmas you'll look back and think, God, remember when I only had 12,000 subscribers? You're absolutely going to explode. I can see it, both of you.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, Fight the Flat Earth's got a great channel.
Thank you.
We recently did a video together, the Nathan Thompson video.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he hates it. He's already emailed me like 3 or 4 different times telling me that I proved nothing because the word fictitious in fictitious force has a certain meaning.
They just don't get it, do they?
I don't think that means what you think it means, Nathan. Mm-hmm.
No.
But yes,
you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
So again, Catz, man, appreciate you coming on. Hey guys, so that you know, this is going to be the last Science or Satire on mine and Fight the Flat Earth channel. We have episode 0.9. Was it Thursday night, you said?
Yeah, on Thursday on the Non Sequitur show with Kyle and Steve as guests. Well, I guess we're the guests, really. But yeah, anyway, so we're doing our last show that's not on Science or Satire channel on the Non Sequitur show on Thursday evening. And then we haven't really decided when we're doing the launch show, but the one after that will be Science or Satire 1.0 on the new Science or Satire channel. So if you guys are not subscribed yet to Science or Satire, what the hell are you doing? Go and subscribe right now. Because it's gonna be the place to go for a alternative look at the world of science. There's so much stupid that we can always talk about, and we're going to have great guests on like Conspiracy Catz and Simon Dan and all your favorite debunkers. Everyone's going to come and have a good time on our channel.
So let me ask you, and no, you know what? I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to ask Conspiracy Catz, because Conspiracy Catz messed up My Buddy's an Idiot. So for our first guest, we need to have a guest that is not going to mess up like you did. Okay. So who would you suggest us? Who would you suggest? We're going to throw away the content they create. We're just going to say, who do you think's smart enough to not mess up the My Buddy's an Idiot?
Safe pair of hands. Sean Hufford, he's a safe, reliable pair of hands, isn't he?
Oh, man. Sean Hufford is definitely somebody that will be on Science or Satire for sure. And he probably won't mess up the My Buddy's an Idiot, to be honest with you. He's such a technical person.
I wonder about Sean Hufford, because he seems smart, but he can't be, because he's got that voice, yet he isn't doing movie voiceovers.
I know, right? Sean, what are you doing, man? Radio, movie, something. I did have one more super chat come in through through my Streamlabs donation. Jane Doe, good luck with the upcoming debate, Conspiracy Catz. You could do this in your sleep. And I agree with you, Catz. You could do this in your sleep, man. This
don't mess it up.
This guy's a nobody. He doesn't understand what a fictitious force is. And his authority that he goes to thinks 10 to the negative 17th is a fucking negative number. He's a goddamn idiot. So I might have broke my bell just now. I'm so sorry.
That was quite a hard ding there. But yeah, we should probably wrap this up now.
All right. Well, Conspiracy Catz, any last words before we close it down?
No, I just wish everybody a good week. It's Monday, isn't it? Yeah. So everyone have a good week, and thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been great fun.
No worries. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Conspiracy Catz and his ugly twin brothers channel, Baldy Catz, as well. And also Simon Dan, where you can see him destroy Nathan Thompson.
Yeah. Later today, right, Catz?
Yeah, I think about an hour and a half, yeah.
About an hour and a half. All right. Well, now, look, you got time to go get something to eat, get you a little bit of alcohol in you. You're going to need it. It's a Nathan Thompson debate. You're going to need, hour and a half. Plenty of time. Go run and get you some kind of oven mitt. I think you should get one that has about as much freaking padding as you can possibly get and still fit your hand into it so that you don't break your face.
Just get 2 pillows and like duct tape the pillows to your hand.
Yes. That way you can backhand yourself when you don't have enough time to hit yourself twice with your palm.
Look forward to it.
All right. Well, I guess that's where we're going to close it out today. Thank you, everybody who super chatted. Oh, hey, one more thing. If you'll look, if everybody will just go ahead, all my Ding Force members, if you'll show Catz the proper goodbye and give him that Skeptic ding. Give him the 12 ding salute. Let's do that. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call that the 12 ding salute. Go ahead and give him a 12 ding salute, and we'll end the show on that note. You guys have a great night, and we will see you at the next live stream. Later.